Welcome to my short series where I will watch and review all of the Spider-Man shows and movies. From the big and little screen, I will review and rank all of them on a tier list and explain why it's there. For our first series on the list, it is the brand new Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man show. This show is made by the creators of the acclaimed X-Men '97, but unlike the previously mentioned show, the animation here is pretty bad. It's very slow and choppy and is most prevalent in the fight scenes, which might be why this Peter is so dependent on his web shooters. But disregarding that, I love the comic book art style they are chasing. The character designs and the visuals used, it's just a breath of fresh air. I really love the design of Spider-Man's suits. This is the best homemade suit of any Spider-Man adaptation. The low top chucks and JanSport backpack fits something Peter would make. I love the addition of the air tank for his web shooters. It highlights Peter's skill for guerrilla science. This show takes place in a separate universe from the sacred MCU timeline, and in my opinion is a great choice for the story, as they can now benefit from making their world feel big with its large cast, but still keep the story grounded and character focused. Within this big world there are a lot of characters, and even though Peter is the main character, it isn't a Peter-centered story. With so many of the supporting cast being likable characters with their own plot lines, it creates an intriguing setting. I enjoy a lot of these characters, but my absolute favorites are Norman and Otto. Coleman Domingo killed it in his role as manipulative, business-savvy genius Norman Osborn, and I'm excited to see his further performances as Norman, as well as what they do with his character. But the GOAT is definitely Otto Octavius. I love his comical overconfidence in his own intelligence, but they still keep the core part of his character in wanting revenge on Norman. That prison scene is the best by far in the entire season, and I hope they push Otto to rival the other Marvel geniuses in this story. But with such a large cast and only 10 episodes, some things are bound to be rushed, and the biggest victims of this are the 110 and Scorpion plotline. Their whole beef is extremely corny. They would meet in the street, then rush at each other like a kid's imaginary war with his toys. Scorpion, the main villain of the season, is the weakest part by far. He's an extremely flat villain with not enough time to develop. Being unhinged doesn't make you a good character. He is supposed to be a symbol of fear, but then gets tossed by Lonnie, an untrained QB. Lonnie is also a victim of this. His character arc, which is beloved, is super rushed. One episode he loves school, next episode he hates it, and then for seemingly no reason, he chooses to rebuild the 110. His parallel with Peter had potential, but wasn't given the proper time to develop, which leads me to Peter Parker. Despite being the main character, he is one of the more bland characters in the cast. He's in bad, but just isn't interesting. He reminds me of Tom Holland, but lacks everything that makes Tom's Spider-Man special. He had potential with the great power demands great respect idea, but this is then tossed away by Lonnie in his great responsibility speech. Overall, the story had a very strong start, but began to decline over time. It is only the first season, but so far it's a 7 out of 10. B tier.